we are live. I'm just gonna set up the live on the Facebook here. 3, 2, 1. Looks like we are live on Facebook as well. Hello, hello. We are doing Mega Money Monday a little bit earlier today because I have a full day, so this is going to be awesome. We're gonna get into it. We have some really great questions from some of our Mega Money babes. So basically this here is Mega Money Mondays. If you see me looking down and up, it's because I'm streaming. Hi, I'm streaming on Instagram and on Facebook at the same time, okay? This is Mega Money Mondays. I am so excited to have you guys here. We go live bi-weekly and I answer your most burning personal finance questions and offer free money coaching to this amazing community, okay? If you are looking to get your questions answered on the next session, make sure you head over to the free Facebook group. We have a quickly growing community of over 3,800 Mega Money babes who are ready to change their whole freaking life and support the other babes in getting there too, okay? It's such an amazing community, and every time I pop in there, I just see people helping and giving advice and pumping each other up, and I just freaking love it so much. It is amazing. All right, so we have a lot of new members in this community, so I wanted to take a minute to introduce myself. Hello. I am Nicole Victoria, aka the No Budget Babe. I am a CEO, a money coach, a financial literacy advocate, and I am on a freaking mission to help women take control of their finances and build bank accounts that never stop growing. Okay, I want to teach you how to live your rich life, whatever that means to you, all right? And so now you're probably wondering, why am I qualified to speak on the subject? First and foremost, ladies, it's because I've been where you are. I can't wait to take your coaching. I can't wait to have you. Let's go. Okay, so yes, I've been where you are. I was $40,000 in debt. I was working my 9 to 5, making good money, with nothing to show for it. Okay, I had $0 in savings, but damn, did I have a closet full of cute clothes. All right, I kept watching everyone around me get all of the things that I wanted in life. Okay, they were buying houses, they were having weddings, they were having kids, and I just kept thinking, how the heck are they able to afford these things? Like, I felt like I was missing a copy of the instructions to life that everyone else seemed to have and I just didn't get, okay? So I got to work. I hit my rock bottom and I got to work. I learned everything I could about personal finance, investing, real estate, okay? And then I was able to pay off that $40,000 loan in 18 months. I was able to pay for my wedding in cash. I was able to flip my first home for a $150,000 profit. I was able to buy my dream house. I was able to have my son and feel financially stable enough to do that. Like, I was able to do all of these things and it was freaking amazing. All right. I didn't come from money. I didn't have help. I didn't have a handout. Everything I have worked for. I want to show you that it doesn't matter where you came from. Okay. It doesn't matter where you came from because you have the opportunity to choose who you want to be. I have the book smarts. I have the street smarts, okay? I have a business degree. I'm a registered real estate broker. I own a successful financial literacy company. I'm a certified negotiations expert, and I have worked on hundreds of deals for my clients. This knowledge has helped me build a $500,000 net worth in my 20s, and now I am here to share that knowledge with you. All right, my personal finance mantra or process is very different than anything else that's out there, okay? Because I don't believe in budgets. That's why I'm the No Budget Babe. I think they're BS, and honestly, they are an externally imposed solution to an internal problem. Most of us know what we're supposed to do. We know what we're supposed to do. We know we should be saving. We know we shouldn't be spending on our credit cards, but we're doing it anyways, okay? We need to figure out why. A budget may help you for a month or two, okay? But studies have shown that by the third month, most people fall off, all right? Because they feel restricted. And I'm here to tell you that you don't need a budget to manage your money, all right? Most personal finance gurus forget the fact that money is 80% behavior and mindset, 80% behavior and mindset, and only 20% tactic. You can learn the tactic all day long, and that's what a lot of these courses do. They teach you the tactic, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you can learn tactic all day long, and you can still not get ahead, because until you learn the psychology as to why you are where you are and how to get out of your own damn way, you are going to stay stuck, okay? You're going to stay stuck no matter how many budgets you make. A budget is, again, an externally imposed solution to an internal problem. It is a band-aid solution. We are not overspending because we don't have a little piece of paper that tells us to spend 10% of our income on clothing. That's not the fucking problem. The problem is that we don't understand why we keep getting in our own damn way, okay? So the process that I teach is actually called the Making Money Moves method, all right? It's a psychology-based, tactic-packed, proven method that has helped thousands of women change their lives, okay? They're paying off more debt than they ever thought possible. They're starting investing. They're negotiating massive raises. They're locking in their freaking millionaire status in their 20s. But more than that, okay, more than that, they are sleeping better, they're feeling better, they're having better relationships, they're losing weight, they're finding happiness, they are doing all of these things that they never thought possible. Because although money isn't everything, everything needs money. And when you get your personal shit together, it can impact so many other areas of your life. So yes, I'm here to change your finances, but I am here to change your whole freaking life, okay? The only difference between the mega money babes who have changed their lives and where you are right now is the fact that they decided to be ready. They decided to be ready, because ready is not a feeling. A lot of you are sitting around being like, hey, when I feel ready, I'm gonna hop in. When I feel ready, I'm gonna make a change. If you wait until you feel ready, your life and your opportunities are going to continue to pass you by. You wake up every day thinking that it's a new day, but it's the same damn day over and over and over again until you decide to make a change, okay? So decide to be ready and decide to take control of your freaking life. Let's go. I am so proud of all of you ladies on this live with me this morning. What I'm gonna do now, if you have any questions, you can pop them into the little chat box there. I'm going to also pull up the questions that I had from the Facebook group. If you're looking to join the Facebook group as well, it's called Master Your Money and Build a Bank Account That Never Stops Growing. So you can jump over there and add that in. Hello, Carly. Add your questions in there and we will pick some of them to go on to our next live and I will answer them in detail, or you can pop them in the chat box here. Again, it's an amazing community. If you're not already in it, I highly, highly recommend it. Okay, so the first question, and I love the questions this week, by the way, because a lot of the times they have been really focused on investing, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but I love that there's so much diversity and variety in the types of questions that we have this week. So super excited to get through to these. Okay, the first one, hey everyone, I have two quick questions. What was the point in your journey where your mindset shifted and everything just clicked? Because my mindset for sure is my biggest hurdle. So yes, yes, yes. I think that that is so, so important to remember. Like I was talking about previously, personal finance is 80% mindset and behavior and only 20% tactic. You can learn tactic all day long, like what accounts to use, what investments to make, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't have the mindset and the behavior, the psychology piece down, the rest of it is never going to work. For me personally, I wanted to share this question so that I could share with you, when my mindset shifted. And I think the biggest mindset shift happened for me when I was working my corporate 9 to 5. I was looking at, all the people around me. I was looking at the people that had, the job that would have been, if I got promoted, I would have this job. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, hey, they're making more money because more money is the solution to my problems. That's what I really thought at that time. I was like, the reason I am where I am is because I'm not making enough money. And I was like, hey, once I just make that more money, then I'll be happy. Then I'll be able to get all the shit that I want. And I was looking around at these people and I realized that they actually weren't even happy either. That they weren't even happy. And that a lot of these people were living a fake life. Yeah, they had a nice car. Yeah, they bought a nice house. But they actually didn't have any money in the bank. They actually didn't do it in a financially responsible way. And they actually weren't any further ahead than I was. And they were making more money. And I was like, well, how is this possible? Because if more money is the solution to all of my problems, then I'm living a lie. And that was kind of like my rock bottom for me when I was like, hey, I calculated my net worth. I'm like, hey, so I have a negative $40,000 net worth. And for those of you who are watching, if you want to calculate your net worth basically, again, it's not about shame. It's not about blame. Your net worth is about figuring out, your starting point, where you are starting from right now. So again, not about shame, not about blame, but what you want to do is take your assets minus your liabilities, or what you own minus what you owe. So what you own, like a house, a car, with stocks, cash in the bank, investments, like all of that kind of stuff, what you own minus what you owe. So your mortgage, your car payments, like your student loans, any of that. Your assets, what you have in the bank, minus your liabilities, what you owe, okay, and that is your net worth. And you should be calculating your net worth probably once every 6 months, just to get an idea of where you're at, okay? And yes, when you're younger, you're probably going to have a lower net worth and it's going to be negative. I've built my net worth from a negative $40,000 to $500,000 in a matter of years, okay? And I'm here to tell you that it is so possible for you. It is so possible for you. I didn't have any handouts. I didn't have any help from parents or friends or family or whatever it is. I built this on my own, and you can do it too. All right. So yes, the biggest mindset shift for me was realizing that the people that, had more, that had the money, that had the houses, that had the expensive cars, that they weren't actually any happier, and they actually weren't really any further ahead. They were just further into debt. So that for me was like my rock bottom. Hello, Ashton, let's go. Woo! So I mean, that was the biggest thing for me. That was my rock bottom. And I think this is like the best quote ever. And it was, what did it say? I'm the worst and I'm on live right now. Rock bottom was the solid foundation in which I built my life from. Let's go. Just because you're at rock bottom right now doesn't mean that's where you have to stay. You wake up every morning and you choose. If you choose to stay there, then you're going to stay there. But if you choose to wake up, and choose a different life, then you get to have that too. Okay. Is this also possible for people from another country, namely Belgium? Yeah, why not? Why not? Why can't you change your life in Belgium? You can change your life anywhere. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you are. Okay. Let's go here. Another question. Thanks for taking me into your community. Well, you are very welcome, babe. While going through day 1 of the challenge, so she is talking about, we have a 30 days to 100K challenge. Link is in my bio if you guys are interested. It's a free challenge. It is amazing. The babes coming through here are saving so much money, so highly, highly recommend it. Get your butt over to that if you have not taken it yet. It's a video series, 3 videos, couple hours of videos, and it will literally change your life for free, so there's no risk to you. So she went through day 1 of the challenge, and she has a question. She's thinking, okay, where do you stand on time versus money? And I love this question. I love this question because I have such a different viewpoint than what most people do. She says, when do you consider it okay to spend money to save time? For example, I have a package waiting for me at the post office. I can spend an hour of my time to get there, to pick it up, or I can pay someone half of my hourly wage to get it for me. What is smarter long term? Okay, so for me, in my Making Money Moves method, one of the things that I say is insource your life when and where possible. Now, I know a lot of us are really big on outsourcing right now. Why would I do that when I could pay somebody else to do it? Why would I do that? If I make $30 an hour, okay, say I make $30 an hour, and I could pay somebody $10, $20 to go pick up my package for me, does it not make sense economically for me to pay that person? So when you take economics, yeah, they would say, yes, okay, if you make $30 an hour, that means an hour of your time is worth $30 and you can pay someone $10. That means you should pay that person. Well, I think that's bullshit because there's so many other variables that have not been taken into account. Did you have to take an hour off of work to go and get that package? Because if not, then you weren't making $30 for that hour. Just because you have the capability of making $30 for that hour, if you were not actually going out there and making $30 for that hour, you didn't lose $30 to go get that package. That was your free time. Also, when you make $30 an hour, you are getting paid $30 an hour for the time that you're working. So like 8 hours a day. You're not getting paid $30 an hour, 24 hours a day. So if you really want to break that down and see what your hourly wage is, you need to take how much you get paid in a week, divide it by the number of hours in a week, and see what the actual hourly wage is. Additionally, most people, Ashton is here, yeah, Kenneth, let's go. I love this, all of my TikTok friends. Additionally, most people have a skewed idea of what their real hourly wage is. Just because it says $30 an hour on your paycheck doesn't mean you actually get paid $30 an hour. And you're probably thinking, what? Yes, I do. That's what it says on my paycheck. Like, sure. And I'm not just talking about taxes, but first and foremost, you have to take off taxes because the government always gets their piece, okay? But in addition to that, you need to realize that there is a cost to earning your paycheck. It costs you money to make money. So first and foremost, you need to take those costs off. And there's hard costs and there's soft costs, okay? So the hard costs are things like your gas and your car, okay? The time it takes you to drive there, your transportation costs, but not only things like that, your educational requirements, the drinks that you have to go out for to be part of the in-crew for the 5 p.m. social hour, whatever it is. The time you spend when you get home from work, venting about work, stressing about work, the food that you have to buy on your way home from work, because you're too tired or too stressed from work to go home and actually cook. You need to take all of these other things into account and come up with your real hourly wage, okay? And then figure out what your real hourly wage is before you start comparing that to all of these other things. So yes, at the end of the day, time 100% is more valuable than money because we only get 700,000 hours in our lifetime, okay? And we are trading that limited life energy for money and using that money to buy shit, all right? So first and foremost, I think we need to make sure that, we understand what our real hourly wage is. We understand if we are working or we aren't working because there's a cost to everything, right? And you're not getting paid 24 hours a day. At the end of the day, it's going to become up to you and what's most important to you. Do you value, having that time at home and using that money to pay somebody else to bring that to you? Because if you work out your real hourly wage, and a lot of my clients do this, say they're making $30 an hour, they come back, they're like, shit, Nicole, I did this exercise, and we do this in my program, I did this exercise, and I'm like, I'm only actually making like $17 an hour, and they're like, holy shit, I've been basing all of my purchases off of making $30 an hour. I actually make $17. If you're making $17 an hour on paper and you have to pay somebody $20 to go pick up your package on a time that you're not working, so you're not actually losing any money, is it worth it to you? And yes, if it is worth to you, that's okay, but you need to understand that you had to trade, an hour of your time to pay somebody else to go and get that and bring it back to you. So it's all about, we need to understand what the trade-off costs are, what the opportunity costs are, and what's most important to us. So love that question. I thought that was great. Okay, next question I'm going to get to here. I may not be able to get to all of them because I see we've already been on here for 20 minutes and I do have an application call coming up. Okay, so let's see. Hey everyone, here's why I joined this group. My main debt is student loans. I pay extra monthly on it, about $600 a month. Good job, babe. And try to pay them off in a few years. I also get a pay raise in about 6 months and will be able to contribute about $1,000 a month working towards the same goal of paying them off super early. My question is, should I pay less monthly on my student loans and use the remainder to invest in the stock market to start building wealth there? So the biggest thing to remember when you're trying to figure out, okay, where do I put my money? Do I put my money into paying off debt or do I put my money onto, investing? You want to look at where is my money going to work the hardest for me? I say you make $50,000 a year, okay? I make $50,000 a year. I have 50,000 little workers. I'm going to put them to work, right? Because money is the best worker. Money's the best worker. It doesn't need a break. It doesn't need to go for a coffee. It doesn't need to pick up the kids at 5 p.m. Like, money can work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You just need to tell it where to go. You need to tell it to work. So you need to figure out wherever you're going to put your money, you want it to work the hardest for you. So if you could put your money to work on your student loan and say your student loan's at 3% interest versus putting your money to work in the stock market where you could get maybe 8%, does it make sense to put your money into investments? From a purely numbers standpoint, yes. So you want to compare the interest rates. If your loan was 25% and you could get 8% in the stock market, that makes absolutely no sense. And you want to put all of your money onto the loan. That's why you always want to pay off all of your high interest debt before you start investing in the stock market, because you're not going to get 30%, 24%, whatever returns year over year by putting your money into stocks. It makes more sense to pay off the high interest debt first, but when you have low interest debt, it could make sense, instead of paying that off first, to also start investing in the stock market. Additionally, if you're looking at, okay, you want to start saving for retirement, I don't know if you already have a retirement fund, but the earlier you start, the better off you are, because the power of compound interest, okay? The earlier you start, the more the money can compound over time and just grow for you. So if you haven't already started that, then yeah, that would be definitely a good idea to start putting some money in towards retirement or whatever your other goals are. But you need to understand what is most important to you. Will you feel better about being debt-free before you invest? And this is taking retirement out of the question, because you should always be saving for retirement. But do you feel better about paying off all of your debt before you start adding more money to your investments? This is why personal finance is personal, and you have to do what's best for you personally, whatever works best for you personally. But understand that from a numbers perspective, typically you want to look at the interest rates, and wherever you're getting the higher interest rate, that's where you want your dollars to go. This question here, tips on how to start a budget. I have zero debt, but want to save more and pay more attention to where my money goes. Okay, babe, so I thought this was great to bring up here because I am the no budget babe, so I don't think you need a budget. Again, I think budgets are an externally imposed solution to an internal problem. We are not overspending because we're not sure of what we're supposed to do. Most of us know what we're supposed to do. We're smart. You guys are smart. I know you're savvy, okay? You know you shouldn't spend on your credit card. You know you should live on less than you make. You know you shouldn't, you know you should be saving and saving for retirement, but we're not doing those things. We are prioritizing the right now over what we really want in the long term. And a lot of reasons I see this being a problem is because we don't even understand what our goals are. We're like, okay, I'm saving. For what? For what? What am I saving for? What is your actual goal? That's why one of the things that we go over in the program is getting real with your goals, because telling me that you want $1 million Benjamins in the bank means nothing. It means nothing. That is not going to motivate you to do anything, okay? You need to figure out your why. Why are you doing this? Is this for more time, more happiness, to spend with your family, to whatever it is? Understand your why. Why are you doing this? And use that to motivate you. Use that to motivate you. Money gets to be easy. Money doesn't have to be complicated. We don't have to have a little budget that tells us specifically where we have to spend our dollars, because that just reinforces a scarcity mindset. A budget reinforces the thought that we don't have enough, there's never going to be enough, and like money is hard and sucks and it has to be complicated. Like, I don't use a budget. I don't use a budget. When I was in university, I did the jar method. When I came out, I was doing the envelope method. Neither of them helped me. They both just made me feel like shit about myself, and that's why I was like, I need to do something different than this. I need to figure, because this can't be it. Like, this can't be it, because this sucks. Nobody wants to budget their money, okay? And you don't have to budget your money when you follow the 3 simple principles, okay? Pay your future self first, live on less than you make, invest early and often. Where you spend the rest is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. You need to understand from a psychology perspective to make sure that you are only buying shit that you need and really brings you joy, okay? That's why you need to break down the mindset and the self-sabotage of the goal setting. But you don't need a budget. I don't teach budgeting. Again, I think it's bullshit, and we talk about this in my program. If you guys don't have a copy yet, I have a free ebook called the Making Money Moves Method. It is the exact method that I use to pay off $40,000 in debt and build a $500,000 net worth in my 20s. You can download that from my website, link in my bio. Go to the top where it says Making Money Moves Method. It's free, download it. It's like 16 pages, jam-packed full of super amazing information, and it is changing freaking lives, so highly recommend it. I'm gonna get to the last question here, unless you guys on the live have any questions. Hi, I'm new here and I came from TikTok. Yeah, let's go. I was really interested in the videos about paying everything with your credit card, because I've always been told to only spend 30% or under of your available balance. To me, that wouldn't be realistic due to everything I buy, which would add up to higher than my limit. If that made sense, is it still a good idea to buy everything on the credit card and make sure I pay it back when it's due, or should I just stick to less than 30%? Okay, so part of your credit score is based on your credit utilization ratio, which means how much of your available credit you are using. If you are constantly going over that 30% ratio of your available credit, sorry, someone's like coming to the window in my office. I'm like, what is that? let me go back to that. I'm like totally lost my train of thought here. If you are constantly using more than the 30% of the ratio, okay, then yes, is it possible that it has a negative impact on your credit score? Sure. That said, I don't subscribe to all of this bullshit, okay? I don't subscribe to all this bullshit. You should carry $10 over to the next month. You should not do this. You should... Credit does not need to be complicated. Credit does not need to be complicated, and everybody makes it so complicated. There are no secrets, okay, guys? When you are financially responsible, your credit score will naturally be high. My credit score is in the 820s. I don't look at it. I don't pay attention to it. I open a new credit card if I need one. I use the money on my credit card when I need it. I just make sure my balance is always paid off in full every month. I actually pay my balance either bi-weekly or when it's posted. So I put everything through my credit card. I filter all of my expenses through my credit card. The reason I do this is because I have a cash back card. And why would I not want to get paid money for spending money? It's just like the best thing ever. I make a couple $1,000s a year by literally putting all of my expenses through my credit card. So I'll charge a $300 expense to my credit card, and then I open up the app and I see it's been posted, and then I pay $300 on it, right? I never have an issue with this. Again, I'm not like a credit guru or whatever, but I don't think you need to be, guys. When you are financially responsible, when you pay your shit on time, you don't carry a balance, you don't have revolving credit that is not paid for, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine, okay? Question here, trying to buy my first house, but it seems like no matter how much I save, it's never enough for a down payment and low mortgage. What would you recommend in this situation? I mean, I would have to understand more about why it's never enough for a down payment. I think what you really need to do is reverse engineer your goal and figure out, okay, how much do you need for a down payment? When would you like to have that by? And how much you need to start saving every month to get there. Because if you do that, I mean, it should be kind of a no-brainer, right? You're putting in this amount of money, it's getting you to this goal in X number of years. If you are saying that, the housing market in your area is going up in price exponentially, and that's why, you keep saving money for a down payment, but you're never actually making any headway, then that could be a big problem as well. So this is an issue that I faced when I was buying my first property. We were like, okay, everyone tells you to save 20% for a down payment. And we're like, holy shit, for us to save that 20%, it's going to take forever. And the housing market in our area was going up like 20% year over year. We're like, holy shit, if we don't jump in now, we're going to be screwed, because at the rate that the houses are going up, we're never going to be able to save that much. So if you look at let's take an example. If the house is $500,000 and the housing market is going up by 10% a year, that means that house in value is going up by 10% every year. So $50,000 in that first year, that house would have increased by. So if you are not saving $50,000, then you would have fallen behind. And if you only saved $50,000, then you would be no further ahead. So for us, it made sense to jump into the market, buy a lower priced property, buy strategically with wealth building in mind, okay, buy in a neighborhood, in a building where I thought it had good prospects for future appreciation, use that as a cash cow, okay, flip that in 2 years, I made a $150,000 profit, and then I bought my dream home. So I don't know what your situation is. I don't know if it's maybe you're trying to buy, a house that is outside of your means right now, and maybe that's why you're having a hard time saving up for the down payment. Maybe it's because the housing market is going up too fast in your area based on what you're spending, so maybe it's better to get in sooner rather than later. Maybe it's because you haven't reverse engineered your goal. Okay, so those would all be things that I would look at. If you guys have more questions or want more information about saving a down payment, buying your first house with wealth building in mind, all of that fun stuff that I've been talking about. Again, I'm a registered real estate broker. I have written a book, an ebook called The Smart Money Home Buying Method. It's available for purchase on my website. It's freaking incredible. It goes through all of that, goes through house hacking, how to live for free, and I think it's only $29, so it's amazing. If nobody else has any questions, I have a call coming up in a couple minutes, so I'm just gonna check here. Did I get to everybody? Yes, okay. Ashton, yes, can't wait to start. All right, guys, I think I got through everything. If I missed you, head over to the Facebook group, Master Your Money and Build a Bank Account That Never Stops Growing. Post your question in there, ask me to answer it on the next live, and I will get to it. I am so excited. Hope you ladies have an amazing day. Yes, Mega Money Babes, let's freaking go.